Was that intensely frustrating, having dominated up front, I think 13 or so penalties, but you don't get the win?
No, not really. I wouldn't call it frustrating. I think probably our overall performance I would find disappointing. There's a reality that probably those scrum and maul, those forward pressure penalties, they probably overshadow and cover up too much other things for me to say that it's frustrating having dominated those areas to not win. Normally I would say yes, but actually on the back of it I kind of think Northampton just looked way more up for the fight than we did in the early part of that game. We didn't make it particularly tough, I don't mind saying, but at the same time they were prepared to fight today at a level probably just a little bit beyond us today. I think, I can stand here and talk to you about scrum dominance, but then can you remember us doing anything off a scrum? There was a reality that we had some scrum advantages and we played off some scrums, and the first thing we did was throw the ball on the floor. You can't play like that. You can't just go that we'll win the game if we win a penalty at every single scrum. That just isn't going to happen in that many games. And there's other areas. I thought we were a bit out-muscled at the breakdown. That's pretty rare for us. I thought we were out-enthused in some areas, and again, that's a little disappointing for us. But the flip of it is, we're a good side. I just said to the lads that we've got to look at both things. Today is disappointing, maybe frustrating, and there's various reasons for it. Big picture, come the end of this weekend, we're going to get halfway through the Premiership season, either top or level top. There's a reality to that. That's a pretty consistent and pretty good payback over this half. But at the same time, let's get ourselves ready to be in a dogfight with a few teams, because actually the only team we played in the last few weeks who hasn't been fighting for their lives was Saracens, and we've beaten them. These guys, the rest of the Premiership table shows you, everybody's in a fight for something. Now, whether that's to get out of this kind of to and fro potential relegation battle that a lot of teams are locked into, or that scrap to get into the top 4 or the top 6, teams are coming at you fighting. And the reality is Bristol will come fighting just as hard next week, and we've almost got to be prepared for that intensity of game and that level of game more than the tussle that happens when you're fighting out top 4 places. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit different, and we've got to mentally engage that that's what it's going to be like. Yeah. Teams are actually going to play against us with relatively little to lose, and they can throw an awful lot at you in those circumstances. I can't complain about tonight's result. I thought Saints deserved it. If we could have forced one more try or muscle one more time over, yes, we'd have won the game, but it actually would have covered up a few deficiencies in some other areas that we shouldn't cover up.
The Luke Cowan-Dickey tackle that was given a penalty ultimately proved the difference on the scoreboard at the end. What did you make of that incident?
It looked like a clear yellow card to me. Yeah. He's lifted his legs above the horizontal. You can't do that in any circumstance, so you don't do it. There is no debate on it now. The debate is zero. I've got no complaints about that. It was just one of those games. It looked like a game where some of our lads were running around looking for the referee to make a decision that they wanted to go their way, rather than just deciding to win the game. And that's what you got to do. I've got no complaints with refereeing performance. Where we got pressure on them, he rightly rewarded us, and where they got pressure on us, he rewarded them. And a poor tackle is one of those areas. Right, thank you guys.
Thanks.